The video you're about to watch is before I published my book, and I wanted to show you some behind the scenes, which is why I pre-recorded that. So this was all the way back at the end of April, on April 30th, and then I have a little update towards the end of the video. But I just wanted to thank everybody, now that we are in the future compared to those videos, for supporting my book launch. Freeing My Alpha has launched. As of last week, it has been 6 days since its launch, and I am so grateful for how much everybody has supported this. I said this in my live stream because if you don't know, I do live stream every time I do a book release. So we have like a little launch party together. And in the live stream, I said that I was worried that because like the whole time I was writing and editing and finalizing and formatting whatever book 2, that it would not be as successful just because it was a sequel. Like I always feel like, oh, it's never gonna do as well as book 1, but everybody has surprised me by boosting book 1 and reading more book 2. So thank you so much for your incredible support and for your excitement. Like, it means a lot, even if it's just like people are excited about the book, but especially because it's about such important topics. Anyway, here's some behind the scenes on how I formatted the book, some of the decisions I have to make every time by myself, because I'm doing a lot of this myself. Mine is editing it, and my editor is Kayla Vokalek. Let's get into it. Okay, I do not have the fanciest background in the world, but something just came in the mail. I'm using this like test copy of book 1 of My Shite Alpha to compare it with book 2. Like, first of all, look how much thicker that is. That's not gonna change. The cover, I think I still haven't fully changed it, but I feel like maybe they look okay together. Because originally I was a little concerned about if they looked okay or not together. You can probably see me looking at, sorry, my head was cut off. But this is wild. So I thought I would take you behind the scenes of like me finalizing a book, because it's a very different process for everybody, but especially because I also am doing the illustrations for the book and I'm self-publishing this, that a lot of responsibility just all falls on me, because Kayla and I already edited this. I was gonna do one more pass and I'm probably partway through. I need to see. Yep, so I've edited this much. I was going to maybe read through this and write in it. Let me scoot closer to you. Basically, like last time, this was the original like test cover I did that I was like, nope, this looks like YA and that's not okay. So yeah, you can see like inside the book I made edits. Let me make sure. Yeah, that's not inappropriate. Okay. Yeah, so you can see that I wrote on it and Kayla did the same thing. Kayla edits my books with me, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. She's amazing. If you need an editor, let me know. I don't know if I would like to do that for this book, because what I did instead, because I didn't have time to wait for it, I started using a screen reader to just read it back to me so that I could hear anything off. And I found already a couple, like just one missing word and one typo, and then just a couple things that were like, oh, I used that word recently, let me not do that again. This is one thick book to try to get through, but I think I can. It's really weird how quickly I've been able to read through this. I don't know if it's because I've read it before, but when I was first, like right before I sent it to Kayla to edit, I read through it in like 2 days or something. I was like, oh my god, how did that happen? But I found it interesting, so I really hope that means that you will like it. Now that this book is out, I will show you some more behind the scenes things. So I am drawing back here. I drew for, oh my god, 6 hours straight, an accident earlier, like before I had dinner, and I just came back up now after dinner. Yeah, and I did 3 illustrations, and part of the reason why is that I am having to catch up after having COVID in early April, it just ruined everything for weeks. And now that I'm feeling better, I didn't really, like, that didn't change that I'm now behind on everything. I originally wanted to announce pre-orders today. It's April 30th. Like, honestly, I wanted to announce them on April 15th, but that didn't happen because I got sick in early April, like before that. So it was like the final week that I was going to be working on it and just doing all the illustrations mainly. Yep. So I'm doing them now. I finished 3 earlier, and I believe, I don't know, should I give you a sneak peek of one? Let me pick one that you can look at. So this is one of them that I had done, not today, but like this weekend, right before I did the indie bookstore day book signing, so that was fun, and it got to be, actually it is in this book, so it got printed into this test copy. So I don't know, I still have a lot to do. I have at least I think 8 more to do. I think I can do them in the next few days, like 2 days or 3 days, which is wild. I'm aware, but I already have them all sketched out at least. The other thing that I have to do is look at the test copy in general. Like, the print quality of this is not going to be the exact same because unfortunately I have to test prints through Amazon, and they always print really badly, like the illustrations inside. This is the first title page, and this is the fancier one. This one looks okay, but if you can see, they like put big lines, like it's just not that great. But I have to make sure that with the thicker book that the margins don't feel too tight. So I might have to expand it a little, like once we get into the middle. Let me make sure this is not... okay. I feel like this is good. This is about almost the middle of the book, and I think that's great. So I'm not too worried about that. I used, like, since I had already formatted book 1 and I want them to look the same, I just, of course, could reuse that as like a template and input everything that I could here. And here's that illustration I just showed you. I can test and see, like, okay, if it prints through Amazon, maybe the darks are like washed out somehow, and then I can change the contrast, like heighten the contrast or something. Stuff like that is for formatting. But since this looks pretty solid, I don't think I'm gonna have to do very much there. The one thing I do have to do is fix this. Okay, sorry, my camera battery ran out, but I think I was saying that since I had already formatted the book, I don't have to make as many changes. I just have to change this cover. I forgot to, like, genuinely forgot when I first drew this to put a jacket on Noah. He's supposed to be wearing, like, this embroidered, like, let me show you. In book 1, I'll show you some cool comparisons in a second. And let me make sure to censor this. So, in book 1, you can see that he has, like, his vest has, like, details on them. If you're able to look quickly, it's because it's embroidered. So I wanted to give him, like, an embroidered jacket, and they also have some other jewelry on them. That's not really it's kind of a spoiler, but it's not really because it's going to be on the cover. And you'll probably have seen it by now. I'm going to put, like, body jewelry on Aaliyah, and he's going to have a similar one because I can. He's gonna also have, like, let me see how I described it. Aaliyah says the vest he's wearing is nothing like the regular embellishments I've seen on his monthly ceremonial clothes. Wait, if you don't want to hear this, like, it's in one of the last chapters, so skip until this time on the screen. Okay, I'm gonna just read this little excerpt of what Noah's, like, how Aaliyah describe it. The vest he's wearing is nothing like the regular embellishments I've seen on his monthly ceremonial clothes, vivid stones sparkling under the moonlight. They drip down his wide form, cascading down his shoulders and chest from a billowing cloak. I had no idea the jewels Lillian and Rain placed over my shoulders would be worn by Noah as well, but they suit Noah better than anything I could imagine him in, allowing his inner beauty to shine on the outside in a way that twists my heart. So, it's a special moment. I guess I put like I was thinking of putting, I might change that. I literally can still change the text. I don't know if I want to put him in a cloak or not, or if I want him to just have a jacket, because I drew the illustration of him with a nice jacket on that had like embroidered patterns down the sleeves and sides and everything. So I have to decide on that. I also think that the contrast was too boosted on this, so I have to tone it down. That tends to happen generally when printing, so I have to make it a lot lighter than it is, like than I would otherwise, like if I was just looking at it on the screen, because when you're staring into a digital screen, you are staring into thousands of lights and everything automatically looks brighter than it will on paper. So of course I did put that into consideration, but the last second I was like, this doesn't look contrasted enough. What will happen when I boost it? What happened is that the darks are too dark. So I can fix that easily. But that is one of the last things that I want to do. Let's look at, like, other than the spines, which I'm slightly, like, I have to remember, this is the type of thing that I will forget. I accidentally forgot that I used the same, like, 2 different fonts. So this font is automatically bigger, like just the same size is automatically bigger, and this font matches everything else, which I should have done, but because the back like has this text, it's called Avenir Next. You've probably seen me use it before, like on my comics. Not Resonance. Well, on the back of Resonance, it's really good for back covers, like dark back covers, because it's like a sans serif font and it just sticks out really well from dark colors. I also, like, my dad and I were looking at this, like I was gonna make all of this lighter as well, so like just like boost it a little bit so that it's brighter and it stands out. I might also do the same with this text. It's slightly blue and I might just barely increase it. Like, I feel like you can see it, especially on camera right now. You can see how it is looking crisp, but I just don't want it to be hard for anyone to read. Like, I really care about accessibility, and I know that it would be hard to read a book like this if you couldn't see contrast very well, but I don't want to like impede on anyone being able to see it in any way. And then the final things are, I need to finish writing the acknowledgements. I always save that for last so that I remember everybody. Like I have to make a list of everybody and like go back to my last acknowledgements and make sure that they overlap, and think about anybody who has been supporting this throughout the time that I worked on this book versus this book, and make sure to include them because I want to acknowledge everybody and thank them. I do enjoy doing that. I don't enjoy my OCD being like really wild for some reason about the acknowledgements. Every time. It seems like so simple, but the acknowledgements, and oh my god, this is what I saw earlier, and I was like, oh fuck no. Sorry. The to be continued section, I have to write a description for book 3, like a back cover description. These are the hardest things to write. The book itself is easier to write than that. Like 100%. I don't know why, like something about summing up an entire story in one description and making it make sense, like, because especially with my books, like Kayla and I have talked about this before, they just have so many pieces that it becomes hard to summarize sometimes. because I really like to have like interweaving subplots that all get tied up eventually, but in the meantime it can be a little difficult to describe when it's like midway through or something. But I think because book 3 is like book 3, like all of the things are already established, I feel like I will be able to write one, but I have to do that and I have to try not to think about it and just do it, so I don't have time. Maybe it's the best way to do that, like just force myself to just finish. So that is what I'm up to right now. I'm curious if this is interesting to you. I could think about some other pieces of it to nerd out about around you and just continue to update you, but right now, as of this moment, that is where I'm at behind the scenes. And the reason why I'm trying to finish it, like originally I wanted to publish on June 4th. Like Freeing My Alpha book 2 was going to be on June 4th, and then I have a book signing event on May 31st, so I wanted to have pre-orders ready by like today. They're not going to be, but I think I could manage it by the end of the week. Like it's starting to seem possible. I don't want to jinx it, but I should because OCD doesn't want me to probably, so I'm gonna finish it by the end of the week. But yeah, I think I could, since now I have the book and I did so many illustrations today. Oh my god. So we'll see what happens. I will let you know, or you'll see like the actual result of it probably before I post this, which is really interesting. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you. This is going to be really cool to see side by side. This is the title page for book 1, Night Shy Alpha. And this is the title page for Freeing My Alpha. Oh my god. I love that. I also feel like they do look better, because I was concerned they wouldn't look good together, but I do think they look like they belong in a set. Like even without the title, I think the illustrations look like that. So it's happening. That really tripped me out to see this today. Like when this test print came, I was like, oh my god, I am publishing this second book. Okay, update. I'm very excited because I ended up changing the cover. Let me take you to better lighting, actually. There's another book. Yes, so this is the updated cover. It is nowhere near as shiny in person. There you go. Pretty vibrant in person, which I'm excited about. I fixed the spine so that the title is bigger. And then it like perfectly aligns with book 1. And then I changed everything I was going to change, and most importantly added all the illustrations in here, and I wrote the acknowledgements. So I also wrote the to be continued in book 3 thing, so yay, thankfully. I will be doing more of like a proper release video soon, but it is probably almost about to debut, which means like by the time you watch this, there will be a stream that I'm doing. Let me put my face on here. So with every book release, I do a live stream where I should have the final copies of the book by then, and I will be doing a reading, like a reading of an excerpt from the book. I'll be doing a Q&A, and we just get to hang out and chat, and I would love to hang out with you. So it's going to be here on YouTube, and it'll be on launch day at night, so that is June 11th at 7 p.m. That's my usual timing for my book launches. So I would love to see you. Let me know what you think in the comments below about this process, and if you want to see any other parts of it. I'm super excited to get Freeing My Alpha out to you, and I cannot wait to show you. There's going to be a lot more merch and things that I have to make now. So I will catch you later and maybe make a video about it. Actually, what if I just did this to end the video? That didn't work. Oh no, it was like right on his